I actually don't believe that the filmmakers themselves believe, the lies that they're trying to spread.
No, they are doing what they asked to do, but they don't know what's behind this.
Yeah, I think that, there's a lot of misunderstanding in the world today, and there is, cultural differences, and whenever people have misconceptions about another culture, it can lead to, bad attitudes, which cause bad behavior on other people's part. And so I think people who make these films are just trying to tap into sort of a negative current that exists within their society, and try to enable them to get votes or so on, to keep them in power politically.
So, I mean, some movies, I mean, they are giving some bad image about Islam, but still, Islam is number one. So it's, alhamdulillah, something supported by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And to look at it from a different angle, I think, if the media wants to portray Islam in a negative way, okay. There's the old saying, that which does not kill you will only make you stronger. And the more negative criticism they want to, throw at Islam and Muslims, it's up to us to try to change that. But the more they try to perceive us negatively, it's our job to step up and refute that, and to try to, not just in words, but more importantly in deeds.
Brother Ali, of course, Islamic values are known for for love of peace and justice and tolerance, but whom should we blame about giving the misunderstanding of these values?
Well, I don't know if it's really productive to blame. I think there's you can point the finger at many different people, organizations, groups, and I don't think that one group or individual is to blame. I think there's plenty of culpability or blame to be spread around. Some on Western media, some on Western politicians, some on Muslims in the Middle East. So I don't think that it's necessarily really fair to blame anybody. I think we should try to assess the origin or the root cause of our problem for ourselves, and then try to look and create a better vision about how we want to change the current situation.
So did you back to the real issue, trying to spreading the message of Islam? Did you have some examples or some experience about trying to convert someone from being non-Muslim to embracing the religion of Islam?
Well, now I think after September 11th, attitudes, particularly in the West, have somewhat crystallized, and so people's positions now often you will run into people who have either a very, very positive opinion about Islam or a very, very negative opinion about Islam. And it's not, of course I still believe it's Muslims' duty to participate and do dawah, but also I think now, more importantly, perhaps it's good to really just try to give people a better understanding of Islam, and to talk to them about Islam, and to come to a real, an informed opinion, not just an opinion based on what they've heard from media outlets and so on, but to try to give them some on-the-ground facts, and to show them what a real Muslim is, and to talk to them about what we believe and why we believe it, and how these beliefs are translated into our everyday actions and behaviors.
Did you try to give some of your friends, for example, whether here or in the let's say in the West, did you try to give them some interpretations of the Holy Quran and what was their reaction about seeing or reading something about the Holy Quran?
Well, I think in the West, a lot of people were unaware about just how much commonality Islam has with Judeo-Christian religion. So I think a lot of the people that I spoke with and tried to show them certain ayah and certain things in the Quran and show them certain hadith which pertain to modern reality and modern situation. They were really shocked to discover that some of the people that I spoke with, were unaware that that we have Prophet Musa sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Islam, and that Islam is in the Abrahamic tradition of religion. So many people in the West that I have spoken with were actually surprised to learn that.
And something that should be mentioned here is some people, when they want to convey what they have learned about Islam, they give it in a tough way. So that may cause some problems with those people who do not know how things that can become easy to understand and to accept.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to Islam.
Well, just like with the king in the West, or in the United States anyway, there's a prominent version of the Bible, which is called the King James version, which is written in very old standard style of English, and this makes it difficult for modern and contemporary people to actually understand and to read easily. It doesn't read the way we speak in contemporary language or colloquial English or Arabic.
Old words. It's lots of them may be old words.
Yeah, exactly. They're very old words that we don't use today very often. So, which this adds a little bit of a challenge for people to comprehend and to understand, Islam and the Quran. And if there's only, I've only found that there's one real good translation of the Holy Quran. But still, a lot of the words that appear in the Quran are often only found in the Quran. So it does take a certain amount of dedication to really come to a comprehensive understanding, and you have to be patient and not be afraid to look up words either in English or in Arabic and get to the root word if you really want to comprehensively understand what is written in the Holy Quran or so on.
And I think the interpretation may differ from one to another. It depends on the person who is translating and interpreting.
Well, this is to me a very important aspect of Islam, and we have the four madhab, or the four schools of Islamic thought, and for the most part, there's consensus on the vast majority of core issues. However, there is differences in interpretation, not so much directly with the Holy Quran, but perhaps with some Sunnah and so on. But I think it's good for Islam actually to have different interpretations of certain things, and because it creates more space for Muslims, and it gets Muslims to be able to think for themselves about what is right for them, and how do they perceive the message of Allah, and how to and so on.
Okay, brother, do you think that the concept of Islam, the real concept of Islam, is going to be clear for the far west country, especially nowadays?
I think to me the core concept of Islam is a very, very simple concept, which is the concept of tawheed, oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that man can have a direct relationship with Allah himself.